Now, is picking Kevin Holland in 2025 a dumb thing to do? Is it a Ryan Spann pick? Ryan Spann-esque. Um,
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here on Lockeddoormma. We're your hosts. I'm Brevin. This is my good buddy JP. And in today's episode, we will be going over every single fight and giving our predictions for UFC Fight Night Edwards versus Brady in London, England. But before we do, we'll give you a quick recap of last week. And JP, it was an exciting one. A lot of people were dogging on the card, and you and I think, were one of the few channels out there telling people, you know what, this could be a lot of action. There could be a lot of knockouts, and I thought it delivered. What were your thoughts?
probably like the third card this year that people rag on. Which, granted, we've ragged on a couple of them. I would say the first two we've ragged on, but yeah, last weekend we broke it down and we were like, yeah, this card's got potential to be a banger, and it kind of was, dude. So kind of weird. The third card this year that looks atrocious on paper and just ends up being a banger.
100%. And that's the fight game for you. I mean, names are the names, but when you're inside the octagon, the action is the action. And if people can put, their feet to the heads or their hands to the heads, you could see some crazy knockouts, and that we did, even in the women's fights, which was very surprising. I'll take it, though, for how boring the women's fights have been as of late. It was good to see some
KOs, dude.
Some knockouts, yeah, and some Kimuras. Yeah, it was a phenomenal night.
Yeah, back-to-back Kimuras, too. Nuts.
It was very nuts. Without further ado, let's dive into this one. I think we got a good card on our hands here. A lot of English fighters, given the fact that we are in London for it. It's always good to see. There's a lot of good names, a lot of good English fighters as well. I can't wait to dive into a few of them, starting with Kutateladze taking on Fernandez.
Caillou.
Caillou.
It's Caillou.
How do you pronounce it?
Coway.
Coway? All right.
I think. I don't know.
You're our in-house name pronouncer. He's Brazilian, but I think your Spanish backgrounds really kind of help you out.
Yeah, true. And let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, it is St. Paddy's Day on the day that we're filming this. No, I did not wear green. Okay, is what it is. I thought
I was supposed to.
My ginger hair would be enough. Brevin says no. It is what it is. All right, I had to chop off my hair. It wasn't the bet we made, even though I said that in the video. I lost Kurt Hall.
Also, how about Ryan Spann before we dive into this card? How'd your boy Ryan Spann fare at the heavyweight division?
My mom's called me. I gotta go take a bath.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro.
You gotta go take a bath. Yeah, that would have been more exciting than Ryan Spann on Saturday. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. I got humbled. Okay, I got humbled last weekend. Is what it is. Take it on the chin, just like Spann did. Yeah. Kutateladze and Coway. Interesting one. Interesting one. Feel like, my personal opinion, what is he right now? Guram is minus 425. Brevin, do you think that's warranted?
No, I don't. And I'll talk about that. I don't think the line should be this far. I really don't. We've seen a lot of things from Guram. I know JP is going to touch on them that really aren't a minus 4 whatever money line, worthy. It's not.
I don't know. I don't know. His knockout loss to Brenner, first of all, for me, doesn't look great. Granted, Elvis Brenner is kind of that guy that stands in front of you and slang and bang, and you can't get him out of there, but he'll stay in your face. And so I don't know. That one, it kind of is what it is. Jordan Vucenic, who is also on this card, I'm decently high on this kid. Okay, yeah. And I'll break him down more when we get to his fight. But he had his debut against Guram. Could have gone either way.
Short notice.
Short notice, yes. Short notice. Vucenic's a big grappling guy. I think before, halfway through the third round, I think Vucenic was stealing it. I thought he was going to get it. I did pick him in that fight. Granted, Guram got a great takedown. Vucenic made a mistake. Tried to shake him off the back, blah, blah, blah. Guram ended that fight great. I think that's what won him the fight. Also, Guram's gym, decent gym. I know we talk about doesn't matter with the gym. I feel like some of them it does. He fights at a Hamzat's gym. He's got Alexander Gustafsson there. Granted, Gustafsson doesn't fight anymore, but I think it's a decent gym. I feel like people are disrespecting Cowboy Fernandez. Cowboy's striking is not bad. It really isn't. He's fast. He's got good leg kicks. He's one of those guys that we talk about. You get in the red zone, maybe the other guy's on the cage, whatever it is, you getting close. He'll throw power. His hands drop a little bit. His hands do drop. Vucenic landed a great straight left in that red zone on Guram that dropped him early in their fight. I think this one's a lot closer than minus 425. I went 6-7 last week. And I'm going to start this card like this. Fuck it. Give me Cowboy. Plus 330. Cowboy Fernandez. Give me him. I like his striking. Guram's okay, dude. Guram's okay. I mean, call it a value pick. I think there's a lot of value in Cowboy. I just minus 425 is nuts to me for Guram. Give me Cowboy.
Yeah, JP, no bango on this one. I hear what you're saying though. Cowboy's striking is pretty decent, and you brought up the Elves-Brenner loss for Guram. Guram was dog walking him the first 2 rounds. Let's not forget how that fight went. I remember it because I always think back to it when I break down Kutateladze, because it's a great example of what he's capable of. He will fight great for 2 rounds, and he starts to fade in the third, and he absolutely gassed against Elves-Brenner. Ultimately, couldn't take the barrage of punches coming his way, folded, the fight got called. But it's not like he got his clock clean and he was just knocked out cold. No, he got beat up. His gas tank failed him. I just think he's been inside the UFC long enough now to have addressed those issues. And when you really look at his skill set, skill for skill against a lot of these guys, he is the better fighter. Do I think the minus 400 money line is warranted? No, but I do think he is the better fighter currently against Cowboy Fernandez. So I'm picking Guram Kutateladze. He's just going to have to prove to us once again that the gas tank is still there. He's not going to have any problems in the third round. He's probably going to win a decision. But I think the power's on Guram's side, and he just pressures you. And I think that in the eyes of the judges, that looks really good. I think Cowboy is going to be on the back foot, maybe land a nice strike here and there, but ultimately Guram's going to kind of walk him down, break him down throughout the course of the fight, and then have to survive the third round, probably winning the first 2 rounds and maybe giving up the last third or the last round in the third and going to the judges' scorecards.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I accept it too. It is what it is. If Cowboy goes out there and gets dog walked, that's fine. I mean, like I said, it's probably a value pick. I think people are high on Guram too because of the Gamrot win, which...
That was a big win.
Yeah, and like Gamrot's decent, so that's probably why people are high on him. I would say bet on Cowboy's KO if you are on the Cowboy side. Doesn't really make sense though at plus 330. Just take the money line. So this is what it is, dude. Close one. Next one. Interested to hear what you have to say about these two. A lot of people, and you know what I like, Brevin, now is we're almost at a year, a couple months away from a year for the channel. We're starting to see these people who we originally started with breaking down and stuff. We're starting to see them come back. I think we're only going to get better too. Seeing these people just constantly fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do agree.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Cowlin. Oh my God, Cowlin. Loughran versus Nathan Fletcher.
Give me 1 second. You threw a loop on me, buddy. We're skipped over Jai Herbert and Chris Padilla.
Did we?
Yeah, buddy.
On Tapology?
Yeah, that's what they're here. They're listed right here.
I feel like we have different.
Do we have different views of Tapology?
Yeah.
Maybe I should refresh it.
I can try.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It did switch on me. I just hit a refresh.
Wow.
Interesting.
I was like, I swear to God, I'm not. I'm smoking something. It
You're
ain't
not.
crack.
All right, Callan Loughran and Nathan Fletcher. Yeah. Loughran, his last time out, I believe it was a short notice fight against Jake Hadley. There was a lot of hype surrounding him. JP picked him. I was up there
Mm.
in Prescott Valley, watching this one. It just really wasn't Loughran's night. The volume from him was very limited. I don't know if he just struggled because it was last second. He didn't have a full training camp, but Jake Hadley looked pretty dominant, and Jake Hadley's been on quite the skid. And then even after that win against Loughran, he lost again. So that fight in and of itself probably kept Jake Hadley around. For Loughran, he really needs to pick up the volume if he's going to find success inside the UFC. He's a dominating presence. He's a big guy for this division, very well put together and very well built. But Nathan Fletcher is going to be taller, a little bit longer with the reach. I like his overall skill set a little bit better than Loughran's. The submissions are there, the jiu-jitsu's there. And he's got decent stand-up as well. I like him as an overall fighter better than Loughran, and maybe I'm having a little bit of bias because I sat there during that Jake Hadley fight and was like, Loughran's got nothing, dude. I mean, he would shoot a lazy takedown, get it stuffed, and then on the feet, there was just really nothing that he had there to offer. So in this one, I'm taking Nathan Fletcher. Plus, he is the guy from England. There's probably going to be a little bit of bias there. I mean, I'll always side with the home fighters. So give me Nathan Fletcher.
Interesting that you brought that up. So when we fight in Abu Dhabi and we fight in Saudi Arabia and stuff like that, I tell you guys every time. Just saying, there's going to be at least one fight on the card where that guy should not win, and just because he's from there, he wins. I don't necessarily think we can say it as often or as for sure in London, but hey, like Brevin said, there's a chance. Okay, there is a chance. When you're 50-50 on these picks, and you're like, damn, it could go either way. I don't know who to take. Might as well take the hometown fighter, you know? Yeah, in this one, I did pick Loughran. And was it Hadley who came in on short notice in that one?
Oh, you're right. It was the
They
other way
replaced
around, I
him.
think. I think you're right.
But either way, you get ready for one guy and then another guy comes in. He could have a completely different style. So either way, short notice kind of sucks for both guys. Calvin Loughran, if you guys have never seen him fight, think about if you went up to Brevin in the middle of the street and you said you want a real old-fashioned tussle. And then you just walk forward with your hands up like that, okay? That's the way Calvin Loughran stands when he goes to strike. Every time he stands there, his chin's up in the air and his hands are like that. It's
Who
so weird.
wants some? Who wants it?
I'll have some.
That's what he reminds me of.
It's very funny in the way that he stands like that. His striking's not terrible, though. It's not atrocious. Not my favorite, but it's not atrocious. His takedown defense and his ground game is... You can tell he trains it. You can tell he's got enough. My thing with Nathan Fletcher is they have fought before also. I don't want to make that too much of a point, though, because they were both quite literally children when they fought before. Like, I think one of them was 20 and the other one was 21 or something like that. They were children. Fletcher, I like the possibility of what he could be. I like his promise. I like his skill set. And he trains with Patty. He's out of the same fighting gym as Patty Pimblett. Feel the way you want about Patty? Patty's nasty. Okay? Patty's disgusting. If you don't think so, I don't know how. Go watch the Bobby Green fight again. Also, Bobby Green on CTE Watch. We need to watch him. Okay, he's had a couple bad runs. But Fletcher, he does enough with his striking to get him to the shot, and then he shoots. He doesn't try to do too much on the feet. Doesn't try to be who he's not. Sometimes the shots are a little too far out, but he's got good double leg entries. I like how he constantly goes to it as well. I feel like you have to put his lights out for him to stop shooting. He's going to constantly keep shooting at you, and trying to take you down. And it's tiring, man. It is tiring. He had a couple submission attempts against Loughran in the last fight. Granted, they were children, but I agree with Brevin. Bingo Bango here. I think he's got more ways to win. And yeah, I just don't think Loughran, he just stands too straight up, and sometimes he doesn't throw enough either. So Bingo Bango, give me Fletcher.
Yeah, and I think that's the main point. Like you said, the stand up from Loughran, that's the key to beating Nathan Fletcher in this one. And he really doesn't have much to offer. So I think Nathan Fletcher will be just fine.
That
All right, moving up the card, we have Shauna Bannon taking on Pulyave Tomar.
Jesus Christ. Um, last weekend we told you that these women's fights suck. First of all, we told you Doobie's ass, and she's gonna get her ass beat. Everybody was picking Doobie. Probably because she got the heavies and she got slumped, just like we said she would. Oh man, Shauna Bannon is atrocious. Shauna Bannon is terrible. This Puha, I don't know the correct pronunciation. She is not good either.
Oh.
Brevin, I'll tell you who's gonna win this fight. The girl who moves her fucking head first is gonna win this fight. Terrible. Terrible. I hate everything about this fight. Shauna Bannon has this weird style where she'll pick her front leg up and kind of hop in. Doesn't move her head. Beat Alice Ardeline by split decision. Ardeline's atrocious too. I mean, Puha throws harder. Like she's got more power. Honestly, I could give a shit. I really could. What are the odds right now? This is so bad. Minus 192, plus 160. Am I gonna do it, Mr. Moser? Am I gonna do it?
I would advise against it.
But Shauna Bannon, it's so bad. Oh
What have
my
you seen from
god.
Tomar, brother? What have you seen from her that's got you convinced that she could beat Shauna Bannon? I mean, and I'll talk about it in my breakdown, but Shauna Bannon has the more UFC experience. Granted, yeah, sure, Tumar's undefeated inside the UFC. I don't like her win, man. Split decision over a can, JP, over an absolute can. I said this last weekend about your boy AJ, whatever his name is.
Oh,
What's his
Cunningham.
last name? Cunningham. Yeah.
We
I
got
know it can
worked.
when I see one.
Mm, look at how confident are you in the
I
Bannon
mean,
pick?
how confident can you be over, between either of these? I just like the experience from Bannon. I hope that she's learned from her last time out. Sure, her striking is a little unorthodox, but sometimes that works in her advantage. I mean, it's a little intimidating when people just kind of leap into the pocket. I mean, we see that work for MVP. Obviously, he's a much more skilled and better striker than Shauna Bannon, but if he can kind of leap into the pocket, land an overhand, and then escape back out, I mean, I don't think Pooja's got any answer for that. I don't think she has anything that's going to be trouble for Shauna that she hasn't seen before. I mean, the real strength to beating Shauna Bannon is to just take her down, control her, eliminate the striking, and then hope that she gets tired. And I don't think Tumar's going to do that.
No, she's not gonna do that. She's lost 3 times by sub. I mean, that's the way to beat her. And you know what's funny that I think is gonna happen with this fight? You know when you watch two kids on the playground fight each other and they're both sitting there kicking at each other, leaning back? I think that's exactly what's gonna happen. Um yeah, let's move on. Bingo bango, give me Bannon.
Yeah, I agree. Give me Shauna Bannon as well.
Terrible fight. Terrible fight.
Yeah, not a great fight, but it is what it is. They have to get these fights in at some point. I think she's a better striker, and I think ultimately that's what prevails on Saturday. So give me her to get it done. All right, moving up the card. Andrew Pulyave taking on CLD Christian Leroy Duncan.
EDL. Driving heavy machinery. Um we saw CLD against RoboCop. I believe both of us were on him, or were you on RoboCop?
No, I had CLD.
But we both picked CLD. Didn't like what we saw in that one. Um, CLD's he's big, he's long. Do things Brevin loves. Um, he's a good striker. Pulyave, Pulyave's accurate. Pulyave's very accurate. Okay. In his Contender Series fight, the guy he was fighting put him on the back foot, so he was fighting off the back foot quite a bit. He is very accurate. So when he throws, he can land. He's pretty accurate. But, I mean, Brevin, correct me if I'm wrong. The guy he fought on Contender Series is atrocious. He's a can.
Yeah.
Dude couldn't move his head. He's not very fast. Pulyave is not fast, though. He's accurate, but he's not fast.
Yeah.
He's long. But I didn't see anything in the Contender Series that makes me think he has enough tools in the shed, per se, to beat CLD. I think it's going to be a stand-up fight. And if they're sitting there standing at range, I still like CLD. I like the way he mixes it up. Granted, RoboCop just got knocked out by Cannonier, so it doesn't look great. It doesn't look like a great win or a loss, per se. But unless I don't know. I just think he had an off night, had a bad night. I don't want to hold it against him. I think Pulyave's just going to stand at range, try and counter-strike maybe, whatever it is. Give me CLD, bro. I think he can do it. I think he bounces back. I think he looks like the old him. Give me CLD.
Yeah. Yeah, bingo, bango. I think he's definitely got a nice matchup here for him and his skill set. I mean, this Andre kid, he's going to stand and strike with you. He is a tall individual at this weight class at 185. He stands at 6'4". I mean, that's a big dude. However, he doesn't have crazy knockout power, and that's really you're either going to knock CLD out, and you have to hit him hard to do that, or you can take him down and control him like RoboCop did. I just think this plays into what CLD does best, so I'm also taking CLD. Plus, like, this is a huge step up in competition. This Andre guy, he was an underdog on the Contender Series. He's the number 42 ranked middleweight in Russia. CLD is the number 42 ranked middleweight in the world. So there's a big discrepancy there as far as competition levels, rankings. I mean, obviously, if Pulyave pulls it off, great for him, but CLD has all the tools necessary to get a win.
And that really is what sold it for me. Is the guy he fought on Contender Series looked terrible. Dude didn't move his head. He's just rushing in, eating shots. And you're saying he doesn't have any knockout power? If he did, that guy would have went to sleep. Like, he was hitting him clean on the chin and on the forehead, and that dude was just walking through it. But yeah, bingo bango there. Two heavyweights going at it. Barn burner, baby. Marcin Tybura and Mick Parkin.
Yeah, I do like myself some heavyweight fights. This one I don't really know what we're gonna get, to be honest, JP. I mean, Mick Parkin, he's gonna look to press forward. He'll wrestle you a little bit. He's gonna be a little bit bigger as far as like overall size than Marcin Tybura. Tybura got decent hands, got a decent top game. Pause. He's got decent jujitsu. But Mick Parkin, I think he's just such a dominating figure inside that heavyweight division, especially going up against some of these lower ranked guys. I think he can get it done in this one. He's got good power in his hands. He's got good wrestling. And I think that's what keeps him safe against Tybura. Tybura's not going to outmuscle him. This is a lot different than when Tybura took on his last opponent, um, Juanita Denise. I mean,
Renata.
Denise really did not have any type of wrestling background, anything like that. And so he was able to get dominated, but he still caught Tybura, and I think that's what Mick Parkin can do as well. So give me Mick Parkin.
Funny you bring up the Jonata fight. So I was on Jonata. I said he could knock him out. I don't believe in Tybura's hands. I don't think he has good hands. His grappling is what he leans on, and then he beats you up on the ground and then submits you, because these heavyweights, if they're on top of you, you get beat up, dude. These 265 pounders, it's once they're on top of you, if they know what they're doing, it's fucking hard to get up. But I was like, Jonata's a great kickboxer. He's got to stay at range, clip him. And what does Jonata do? Exactly what we thought was going to happen with Musasa. Didn't realize he was going to keep his hands down last weekend and get fucking head kicked. But these great grapplers versus these great strikers, they get clipped. What do the strikers do? Lose all sorts of IQ to try and get a highlight and follow them to the ground. Bro, back up and make them fucking fight you. Why are you going to where they have a chance? It makes no sense. It's going down the rabbit hole. Just stay out here. He's clipped. If he's going to lay on his back, the ref is going to have to stand him up, clip him again. It literally makes no sense. McParkin has the wrestling ability, I think, to stay safe, keep him off him. We just can't be on our back the whole time. I think he'll do that. I think his striking's better. Fighting at home, 10-0. His O is not going to go. Bingo bango, give me McParkin.
I like that call. I like that matchup for McParkin in particular. Tybura is getting older. He's going to be the slider framed guy in this one. Really just losing some of that muscle, losing some of that strength. It works against Denise, but I don't think it can work against Parkin. Moving up the card, Loner Kavanagh taking on Felipe dos Santos.
Is McParkin the favorite now? He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is one thing about this card already is the lines have shifted crazy on a lot of these fights. Loner Kavanagh. I want to say crazy fast. Is that accurate, you think?
Yeah, he's quick.
He's crazy fast. Loner Kavanagh, everything he throws is lightning quick. And he's got power to him. He really does. Felipe, a shoot the box guy, Diego Lima guy, fights with that team. I mean, if you couldn't tell by the hair, and he's Brazilian. There you go. All of them look like that. And I feel like unless you're Charles, or unless you're shit, I don't even know. I'm forgetting his name right now, but unless you're the high level guys out of that team, I feel like all of them just kind of come forward, throw everything at you in the kitchen sink. They kind of fight fire with fire.
Yeah.
And I like that. I don't mind that. I don't know. This is an interesting one as well for me. I feel like this is going to be stand-up delight. I feel like both of them are going to be cut, bloodied up. 8-0 is Loner Kavanagh's O going. We've seen it all year. I like him, man. I like him. But Felipe's lost to some damn good competition.
Manel Cop.
Manel Cop in his debut, he took Manel long. Granted, it wasn't when it was in 23, so. And then we just saw Lima last weekend. We saw how good he looks. He took Lima long. Man, I'm talking myself into Felipe dos Santos right now. Kavanagh minus 305. I think this is another one, just like the Cowboy fight. I don't like the lines. I think the lines are a little too wide. More speed, more power. Give me Loner Kavanagh.
I think this fight comes down to one thing and one thing only. Can Felipe dos Santos implement the wrestling? Can he get him on the ground and maybe grapple with him a little bit? I mean, coming out of Oliveira's gym, you know that's a part of their training. They do focus heavily on that. Felipe dos Santos doesn't particularly do that incredibly well. On Saturday, he's going to have to if he's going to defeat Loner Kavanagh, in my opinion. Kavanagh's striking is just too good. He's too quick. He uses all of his weapons. Left high kick, left high kick, left high kick, tires out the arms. I mean, you can't strike back with this kid. He's going to outstrike you. He's going to outpoint you on the feet. So can you take him down? I don't think Felipe dos Santos is that guy to control him, ragdoll him, take him down. Felipe dos Santos will be a little bit bigger than Loner Kavanagh, but that's okay because Kavanagh's main weapons is his legs and then that left hand, and he's deadly fast. I think he's going to get it done standing up. Loner Kavanagh is going to be my pick.
I almost did it for a second there.
Did what?
I almost took Felipe for a second. Did I talk myself into it? No, I agree. The speed mixed with the power, man. Yeah, I agree. This next one, excited to hear what you have to say. Jai Herbert and Chris Taco Padilla.
Yeah, obviously I was excited to talk about this one because I was calling JP out for skipping over it, but apparently you got to refresh topology. I didn't know that was a thing. I'm excited for this one. Two guys that really get after it. Jai Herbert, we've seen him fight quite a bit inside of the UFC and a few times now on the show. He's a fun fight. He always gets after it. I mean, he's had that, he's had fights against Renato Moicano, Ilia Topuria, some of the top guys in the division. He almost ended Ilia Topuria's run with the left high kick and then ultimately got caught. himself, but fought decently leading up to it. He's long for the division. He's quick with his hands. He's got a nice jab. Chris Padilla, on the other hand, a little bit smaller, but I like his style a lot, JP. I mean, last time out, getting a doctor stoppage over Rong Zhu, our boy. I'm very high on Rong Zhu. James Longtop, he choked him out. Longtop's a tough out. I mean, we saw him standing there and
He's a
bang
tough
with
son of a
Rufy
bitch.
for, yeah, he is. I just like the trajectory at this point of Chris Padilla's career versus Jai Herbert, who's fought some of the top guys. Maybe we can see a resurgence. I don't necessarily see that happening. His last win was Rolando Boidoya. Nothing impressive to me there. I'm taking Chris Padilla.
Yeah. And I mean, you brought it up right away. That's what Guy Herbert's most famous for, is dropping for you. But like you said, he got knocked the fuck out after that. You know, it's like me telling you, hey, I almost hit a game winner. Well, did you? No. Well, then what does it matter? You didn't win the game. So I don't know. He can strike though. Like he can strike, obviously. He's a big guy for this division, so you can't sleep on him. One thing about Taco is his coaches say all the time, this dude watches a shit ton of film. This dude's a smart guy, shit ton of film. He was setting up that elbow. He got that doctor stoppage against Rongju, like you're talking about. He hit him with a massive fucking elbow in close, swelled up Rongju's eye. Rongju thought he got poked and he's pointing at him. And Chris is just pointing at his elbow because it was nasty, dude.
Yeah.
This guy's smart. And I feel like all the Ankalaev secret or whatever, he's got wrestling in the back pocket if he needs it. I feel like he's a better wrestler too. Guy Herbert's been shown that he can get taken down and controlled. And like you said, their ages, what more are we going to see from Jai Herbert? Is he now going to all of a sudden resurge and beat his killer? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, and he was a massive favorite when the lines came out. And right now, I mean, I'm telling you guys, if you do not bet Chris Padilla right now, currently he's plus 105. I think he opened at like plus 400.
Yeah.
So this dude's gonna be a favorite real quick. We're getting him at dog money right now. Bingo bango, give me Taco Padilla.
Yeah. I mean, let's not forget, in Herbert's fight against Ferris Zion, he just started to give up on himself. He started to quit in that fight. He just got ragdolled down to the ground, didn't try to get back up. It was just complete domination from start to finish. And then Rolando Bedoya, he's 0-3 in the UFC, dude. Like, absolute can. Him and AJ Cunningham hang out on the weekends. Like, I have
Give him a
no
shot.
I have no interest in picking Jai Herbert unless he's up against like a newcomer on 2 hours notice. You know what I'm saying? It's just not in the cards. I think Chris Padilla is a great dog call here.
This dude really does not like AJ Cunningham.
He trains with Bryce Mitchell. They're like cousins. Like, okay, bud, you think the earth is flat? I mean, who knows?
Probably
Yeah,
does.
story is sad, but whatever. Uh all right. Moving up the card. We have Nathaniel Wood taking on Morgan Charriere.
Probably one of my favorite fights on the card right now.
Yep.
I'm high on Nathaniel Wood. We've seen him fight quite a bit. I mean, we've seen a lot of guys fight quite a bit. We've been watching it for years, but I like Nathaniel Wood. I've watched him for quite a while. Morgan Charriere. I'll tell you what, dude. Watching his last fight, who was it again? I'm forgetting the guy's name right now.
Gabriel Miranda
Miranda, that's who it
was
was.
his last fight.
We I don't know if we picked that one. I think we did. Yeah, September last year. Yeah, we did pick that one. I did pick Charriere in that one. Boy, did he. Oh, just everything about it. I love that fight. I love the pick. It was great. Now, I like Wood. I think he's got decent wrestling, decent striking.
Like Wood. JP
Yeah.
likes Wood, guys. Hey, can we take a quick second and acknowledge the fact that they had a canceled bout with Charriere and AJ Cunningham? I mean, could you have imagined the absolute damage that
The
would have been done to
beating.
Cunningham?
No
Oh my
pun
lord.
intended. The beating he would have got. Back to Wood. I think he has a good tool set, and I think if he puts it all together, he can win on the night. With that being said, I picked him against Andre Fili, and boy, did Andre Fili give him a run for his money, clipped him early too. And some say Andre Fili won that fight.
Mm-hmm.
Not me, but some do say that. And from what I saw in Morgan Charriere's last fight, I mean, call it bias, call it whatever. I like Charriere a lot. Give me Morgan Charriere, man. Morgan Charriere to beat the hometown boy. I like Nathaniel still. I don't know. Call this a gut pick. Call this a bias pick. I don't give a shit. Give me Morgan Charriere.
Bingo, bango, JP. I like Morgan Charriere a lot. The last pirate, I mean, he has a lot of power in his hands. He's got great kicks. If you move down his record and take a look at the fight against Manolo Zacchini, if you guys watch that fight, he hit a clean body shot to the liver with his foot, body kick to the liver. He could see his opponent was hurt. Guess what he does? Follows it up with 2 more liver kicks right after each other. Oh, it doesn't drop him? Okay. I can still see that he's hurt to the liver. Bam, right hand to the liver. It was beautiful to watch. Folded his opponent, liver shots. His IQ is good. And let's take a look at that split decision against Chepe Mariscal. I'm
100%.
so high on Chepe. JP's so high on Chepe. That is a great split decision loss, dude. I mean, Morgan Charriere, he is a dog. He's got crazy power. He's quick on his feet. He's a really good striker. I just like him in this matchup.
100%. I'm glad you brought up the Chepe thing too, because like we are high on Chepe, and if you're gonna have a split decision loss to anybody,
That's the guy.
Yeah, those are like the losses that you're like, it's not a win, but it's also I don't give a shit. He lost
For sure. All right. Moving up the card, we have Jordan Vucenic taking on Chris Duncan.
Oh, I talked about it earlier. Said Vucenic is on this card when we were talking about Guram. Vucenic, good jiu-jitsu. Good jiu-jitsu, good grappling guy. I like his stand-up as well. He's got good straight shots. His defense is not terrible. He knows how to move his head. Chris Duncan. If you ask me, I think he's another brawler. I think he hits hard, and I think he's another brawler. Is he better on the ground than Vucenic? Hell no. So it's going to be who's better on the feet, in my opinion. For one. For two, people are like, Chris Duncan's coming off a win. I'm doing terrible with names right now because I always forget. Elijah Oki. We both picked Oki in that fight.
Yeah, he's got good hands, but he got caught in that guillotine.
He was beating Chris Duncan's ass. Clipped Chris Duncan many times. Boom, boom. And then what does he go and do? Puts his neck right in a fucking guillotine. Pulls a Andre Fili, if you will, because he did it the other weekend too. I cannot stand it when these guys do that. You put yourself in the guillotine, bro. You're just sticking your neck out there. Have no regard for it whatsoever. Blows my mind. Chris Duncan did not win that fight. He got handed that fight because Oki is an idiot. I like Vucenic. I'm still high on Vucenic. He lost that debut against Guram. Hey, we've seen it all year where these new prospects come into the UFC, the lights are too bright, the competition's too high, whatever it is, and they lose their debuts. He, up until the middle of the third round, where he made that mistake, he was trying to buck him off. Guram somehow, I don't know how he stayed on top, but he did, and then he took the back, and that's how the round ended. That's what won Guram the fight.
Yeah.
If that's how Vucenic lost, he didn't get worked, he didn't get dog walked. Come on, bro. Give me Jordan Vucenic.
Yeah, bingo bango. I just think he's the more well-rounded fighter in this one. I used to like Chris Duncan, but as of late, really, he's done nothing that's impressed me. And like you said, he was getting pieced up before he found the guillotine his last time out. I think Vucenic's a much better grappler than Ojale or Oki, Balaji Oki, Ojale.
The Bellagio.
Um, the Bellagio Fountain Boy. But yeah, Jordan's got good hands, and he's got good jiu-jitsu to go with it. So give me the hometown guy, Jordan Vucenic.
And his tattoos, I didn't even mention, are fucking sick. Okay,
They're
dude's
fire.
tatted from head to toe. Wow, this next one, and the bout order on Saturday will probably be worlds different than what we're breaking down right now. We're just going off of Tapology, but there's no way this fight is as high as it is on the card.
Speaking of cans,
Molly the meatball, the can herself. versus Alexa Tariana. I don't know. Tariana.
I can't even say her nickname, so
Her
that's cool
nickname.
too. I don't know. Burgasenya?
That sounded
Burgasenya?
good.
Not
Ugh.
sure what that even means, but
Pretty sure you just
yeah,
said a slur.
she's decently well-rounded, JP. She's got 6 wins by submission. She tends to go to decision a lot. Doesn't have great power in her hands, but she will be the bigger girl on Saturday against Molly McCann. She's got a 5-inch reach. I like the striking that Alicia has over Molly's. I was not impressed with Molly's last time out. I really wasn't. It really kind of put a bad taste in my mouth against Bruna Brazil, where she was a huge favorite. Didn't look good. I mean, JP called that one to a T, and I guarantee he's probably going to agree with me on this one as well. Give me Alicia Thainara to get it done. I just don't see Molly McCann having a successful night wrestling, and even if she does, she'll probably get caught with something off the back of Thainara. So there's more ways to win for her.
Give me Molly Meatball to lose the fight. Holy shit, I'm not picking McCann. Oh my goodness, dude. First of all, I don't like either of these girls. Okay. Molly Meatball. She's great on the mic. She's entertaining. Patty's left hand girl. You know. She's not good, bro. She's not good. I'm sorry she's not good. And all these people that want to hype her up, it's because she's good on the mic and she's entertaining. And sure, we love to see when she does those spinning elbows and knocks the other bitch out. Yeah, hell yeah, it's entertaining. I love to see it. When she gets to higher levels, not good. That's as simple as it is. Her striking's terrible. And granted, I did pick Bruna to beat her. I said Bruna would beat her. Molly looked in the best shape of her life for that fight. So she looks like she's possibly taking a little bit serious or more serious, I guess, than before. If I'm ever going to consider picking Molly in any fight whatsoever, I have to see her go out and dominate somebody. I have to see her go out and make strides. Not knock a girl out and be wild. I got to see her take her down, be smart, hurt her, stay composed, don't rush for the finish. This Thainara girl, I think she's got better wrestling, so I think she can incorporate that into the win. I think her striking is terrible. She'll put both her hands down and just start swinging wide when she gets the other girls. It's fucking atrocious. So maybe Molly finds another spinning back elbow KO. Who cares? I hate this fight. I'm not going 10 feet near it with the betting lines. But yeah, bingo bango. Give me a TNR.
All right, moving up the card, we have Kevin Holland taking on Gunnar Nelson.
Oh my god. Gunnar Karate Connor Nelson. If you ask me in 2023, let's scratch that. If Gunnar Nelson was active whatsoever, taking Gunnar Nelson. Brevin, when is the last time Gunnar Nelson won?
March 18th, 2023.
I mean, 2 years ago is the last time that he won a fight. Brevin, do you know how many fights Kevin Holland has had since he won that fight? Since Gunnar won his last fight?
That is a great question. Since 2023, he's had 5 fights.
Now, is picking Kevin Holland in 2025 a dumb thing to do? Is it a Ryan Spann pick? Ryan Spann-esque. Gunner's got this karate bounce back and forth. His stance is very sideways, and then he'll explode. Boom, boom, boom. He's got ground game. His ground game's good.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck. The dude's not active. The dude hasn't fought in damn near a year and a half, hasn't won in 2 years. But Kevin Holland, you can control him. You can grapple him. You know, a 45-70, a 45-70. Shut the fuck up, Kevin. Nobody cares what a 45-70 is. Do you know what a W in the octagon is? Oh, that pisses me off and nobody knows a 45-7. Dude's on Rampage's podcast with a fat ego. Oh my God. It just makes me think he doesn't have the wits in there. He's just fighting for money. He's just fighting for a paycheck because he's entertaining. How long are they going to keep him around for? But I mean, when he first came out, me and Brevin loved this dude. They called him Big Mouth. This man's talking, telling the dude, "Hey, you got a booger on your nose," and then knocks that dude out, knocking walking Buckley out. How good does that look now? God, this is so. I want to pick Gunner. In my mind, Gunner's a logical pick. Gunner should take him down. Gunner should grapple him. Gunner's not active. Gunner Nelson is not active. It's gonna be a dumb pick. Kevin Holland dog money. Give me Kevin.
I mean, who are you to say that's a dumb pick? First and foremost, don't ever put Kevin Holland and Ryan Spann in the same sentence. That's just not cool, man. Um,
I'm never gonna
you
live that down.
I liked your breakdown, JP. I did, but you forgot one very important thing. And I think it really kind of tells the story of this one. You were questioning Kevin Holland's urge to fight. Is it just for the money? Is it because he still loves the sport? Is it because he wants to win? Well, I'll tell you something that I think proves that he is ready to win and ready to make another strong run. This fight's not at 185, JP. This fight is at 170. Kevin Holland has not cut this weight in a very, very long time. And if you're just in there to make a paycheck, buddy, you ain't cutting that weight. Trust me, not at his size. You are not going to 170 after you fought multiple times at 185. He's found success at 185, but a lot of these guys are just too strong, too dominant for him to handle. So for me to see him cut back down to 170, JP, I think that's a problem for whoever stands in front of him on Saturday. Bingo, bingo. I'm also taking Kevin Holland. Not only has he been active, but to make that type of weight cut, granted, he got to make weight. We haven't seen that yet. But if he makes weight, has a great weight cut, that is a problem because for me, that's like, okay, I got to get my shit together. I got to start cutting weight. I got to work really hard to start finding wins inside the UFC. Otherwise, my job's in jeopardy. And I think that's the point that he reached. And so I expect to see a completely different and driven Kevin Holland on Saturday versus a guy that hasn't fought in 2 years. Give me Kevin Holland.
I mean, yeah, it's so hard to pick Gunner. If Kevin misses weight, I'm switching my pick.
I mean, even then, it's like,
Well,
I
Cheaty
don't
missed
mind
weight,
it.
and then he went out and knocked the dude
Yeah,
out. So
he's big, he's strong. Gunner's not Rainier de Ritter. Gunner's not that size. I don't think he's just going to
true.
maul Kevin Holland and keep him where he wants him. Kevin Holland is a good jiu-jitsu practitioner. He hasn't been able to show that all that much because he's going up against guys at the skill level of Rainier de Ritter, Hamzat Chimaev. That's not the same with Gunnar Nelson. Yes, he is good, but he's not that dominant and physical as those two guys that I just mentioned.
Um, Hamzat is, unless I'm smoking crack, Hamzat's the only one to ragdoll him like that at 170, right?
They fought at 180. I think
Oh,
it
it
was a
was
catchweight.
because that was a Diaz card where Diaz was supposed to fight Hamzat or some shit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Uh,
So they replaced it at the last second.
I mean, I was fully ready to pick Gunnar Nelson, but all day I just sat there wrestling with dude hasn't fought in forever, and yeah, no, and every other fight that has happened that we have broken down, you've said that they're not active, they don't fight, and you've hit that pick every single time.
Yeah, I mean, there's something real about ring rust and that nerves, whatever it is. Maybe it just takes you a little while to wake up. Well, guess what? It's a 3 round fight. This isn't a main event where you can kind of find your footing and get things going late. No, you're going out there against a really dominant striker in Kevin Holland. You're going to have to either find takedowns, submissions, or land something big early because if you want to point strike with Kevin Holland, it's going to be a long night.
If he loses, if he loses, I can't even say that because I think he's gone. But whatever, whatever. Live and die by it. We pick Kevin Holland. Is what it is. This next one I'm very excited for. Carlos Ulberg, the Black Jag. versus Jan Blachowicz, the original Polish power.
That's right. You guys know I've been high on Carlos Ulberg. He's got a lot of good wins under his belt, but JP has another thing, a lot of canceled fights. He does have a lot of canceled fights. He's the one fighter that can have a lot of canceled fights, and I'm not really going to blink. I like him. I like his power. I like his kick game. I really just like this matchup in particular as well. I think against the right guy, and maybe my opinion sways a little bit, but against a smaller opponent in Jan Blachowicz, against a guy that's 42 years old that probably has lost some of the juice that he's had throughout the course of his career. I like Carlos Ulberg a lot. I think he finds the chin of Jan on Saturday. Give me Carlos Ulberg.
Carlos's only loss, and I remember watching it, was the Kennedy and Zechku, who I think
First
is a
UFC
heavyweight.
fight.
A heavyweight, right? Well, he is now, right? Kennedy is.
Yep.
Yeah. So, we were watching that, and Carlos was dominating. He was landing on Kennedy, but Kennedy's got a chin, and Kennedy stuck around, and boom, caught him on the chin, out cold. I feel like that's possibly the way to beat Carlos. I feel like Jan can do that. I feel like he's made a career at showing he can dig deep. He made Ankalaev go back and completely change his thought and technique on how to approach checking leg kicks, stopping leg kicks, because Jan Blachowicz beat the shit out of his leg. I think at one point Jan Blachowicz was disgusting. He's tough to deal with. He's Polish power. He's strong. He can take you down. He can stand to do. He can knock anybody out.
Mm-hmm.
Jan Blachowicz is coming off a shoulder surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Jan Blachowicz is 42, like Brevin said. I say fade the 40s all the time. He's 42. Is he going to stick around, eat shots, try and take Ulberg down, gas Ulberg out, and then get in close and boom, and then clip him with something and then start beating his ass? I can't see it, dude. I cannot see it. At 42, coming off a bad shoulder injury, with a guy in Ulberg who quite literally is hitting his stride in the best shape of his life, in his fucking prime, a world-class kickboxer. Yeah, bingo bango, give me Carlos Ulberg.
Tough, dude, because as you were speaking, like I just took a look back real quick at Jan's record here. He had the win over Alexander Rakic. That was a good win. He was
Rakic
a
blew his
really
knee out,
good
though.
kickboxer. That's true. Then he went to split decision draw with Magomed, your current champion at light heavyweight. Then takes on Alex Pereira, also goes to split decision,
Which some people
takes an
think he got
L
robbed.
there. That's right. And then the shoulder injury occurs, and now it's 2025. It's been 2 years, but it doesn't seem that long ago that we saw him. What version of Jan are we going to see? How bad does this dude want it? I mean, you're 42. Is this one of those things where it's like, hey, we'll give you someone with a big name that can get you back up there for title contention? Or is it, hey, Dana, I'm going to give it one last go. Give me a big name, and I'm going to call it quits after that fight. I'm going to give it everything I got. That's kind of the side that I'm leaning towards right now. It's like, he's going to go in there, put up everything he has against Carlos Ulberg, who is a big name in this division, a rising star in this division, and probably put the gloves down when it's all said and done. Because how much more can you possibly go at the age of 42 after a really bad shoulder surgery? You start questioning, what do I want this for? What's this all for? Am I going to fight for a championship again? I don't really think so. So at some point, you got to hang it up.
I mean, with you saying that, I think I'm going to call this fight to a T right now. I think this fight, for one, I think it goes to decision. I really do. I think Carlos is going to have to dig deep because, like you're saying, which if Jan wins this, I think the UFC 1000%. Hey, something happens to Pereira, they don't run it back. Jan Blachowicz, Magomed Ankalaev. Run it back. I mean, he had a draw with him, beat the shit out of his leg.
Yeah.
Something happens with Pereira, run it back. But yeah, I agree if he retires, if he loses. But I think Carlos Ulberg is going to have to dig deep and beat him by decision. I really do. I think Jan will stick around.
I'll tell you one thing that helps Ulberg, though. It's only 3 rounds. I think if this was a 5-round fight, I mean, Jan's been there,
I'd
done
be
that
worried.
many times with some of the best in the world. Probably find a few takedowns, maybe steal a round or two. That's tough. But I think in a 3-round sprint, it kind of is more suited to Carlos Ulberg style.
Yep. True. Yeah, if it was 5 rounds, I'd be worried.
Yeah. All right, moving up the card. Leon Edwards taking on Sean Brady.
Wow. Big one here. Big one here. And you know what's crazy? We haven't mentioned it yet. This is in London. London's actually getting a card where they get to watch it at a normal hour. You know, they don't have to watch it at 3 a.m., 5 a.m.
Sure.
They don't have to fight at 3 a.m., 5 a.m. Leon Edwards, Sean Brady. I'm just going to come out and say I think Sean Brady dominates him. How many times have we seen Leon Edwards fight these grapplers and people want to say Leon's a great striker at range. Leon's got great takedown defense. Leon's this, Leon's that. Leon is the one guy that I have seen mentally break multiple times in a fight. Bilal Muhammad fight. Kamaru Usman 1. Kamaru Usman 2. And then he got a head kick. Yeah, but he got a head kick. He knocked him out. How many times are you going to hit that home run shot? How many times is his coach going to come over and ask him, do you want me to stop the fucking fight, man?
Almost loses to Nate at the last second.
Gets wobbled by Nate. Leon Edwards has proven to quit. He quits. Yeah, he took Bilal's back. Yeah, he did this. Yeah, he did that. Look at his posture. Look at his body language. In the corner. Shut the fuck up. He's got to yell at his dude. I do a horrible Leon accent. Where they're from, it's a weird British accent. His coach always yelling at him, you want me to stop the fight, this and that. Leon breaks. And is he going to go out there and hit another fucking home run shot against Sean Brady, who's on a roll? Oh, yeah, is he undefeated? No, he's lost once. Who'd he lose to? Oh, yeah, Bilal fucking Muhammad. Sean Brady quite literally is the same thing as Bilal Muhammad. The same exact thing. And Bilal showed you that, and Bilal beat him. Like, some people don't believe it. I think there was an eye poke situation.
Yeah.
Which I don't like.
I'm not even talking about that, but like the Sean Brady and Bilal, I do think Sean Brady's still capable of beating Bilal Muhammad.
Oh, 100%. And
I think got caught.
I think he had a bad night. He was off his game, whatever it is. But Sean Brady's grappling, his wrestling, his strength, and his striking is not trash. The moment Leon has to defend takedowns every single fucking round, he breaks mentally. Yes, he knocked Kamaru Usman out. It was a beautiful high kick. Throw that 10 times, 9 out of 10 times, it does not starch him like that. And the one time it did, he won the belt and he's a champ. Good for him. I'm not hating on Leon. Maybe I am. He breaks mentally. Give me Sean Brady.
Yeah, bingo, bango, JP. I think, like you said, the pressure from Sean Brady is going to be there on Saturday. He's going to back him up against the fence, look for his takedowns, and if he does get Leon to the ground, I think he could possibly find a submission here. He's very, very skilled when it comes to jiu-jitsu. I like his game a lot. And like you had mentioned, Bilal Muhammad literally laid the pathway to success against Leon Edwards. If you watch that fight, and Sean Brady literally replicates that, which he very well can. I think he beats Leon Edwards on Saturday. I'm also taking Sean Brady.
I mean, I just can't. I can't see a world where he outstrikes him and Brady, because it's not like Brady's not going to try and get off his grappling. You know, Brady's another guy, just like who were we talking about earlier? Oh, Fletcher. They'll keep coming. They will keep coming at you and stay in your face, and boom, shoot for takedown. You're going to have to defend it all 3 rounds, all 5 rounds, 15, 25 minutes, defending nothing but wrestling. It's going to be tough.
It's going to be very tough. That does it for the card. That doesn't do it for the show. Don't go anywhere. If you guys have made it this far, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We appreciate it. It means a lot. We want you to never miss out on our predictions every single week. Now we have our show parlays coming your way for free, like they are every single UFC card. Starting with Lockdoor MMA's Lock of the Night. JP, who are you locking up?
Who am I locking up? Give me the meatball, psych. What the hell? I ain't taking meatball, McCann. I just talked about him. I just sat here and yapped your guys' ear off. Sean Brady. The pressure, the grappling. Leon's gonna break, dude.
Love it. For my lock, give me Carlos Ulber. Put away Jan and probably retire old man Jan. Carlos and Sean Brady right now get you to plus money. So our lock is at plus money. Love to see it. Now let's move to Brevin's basic. Let me dial up something real nice for you guys.
A little chuckle right there. He's getting
a little
excited.
What? I am getting a little excited. It gets me
chuckle in there.
Gets me very excited. All right, this is gonna be a fun one. These are some interesting picks that I probably wouldn't normally make, but I like changing it up for you guys a little bit. We'll start with my lock. Give me Carlos Ulber. Now we're gonna dip into some unforeseen territory. Give me Jordan Vucenic, which coming off of a loss, I've never really done that before, but I feel very confident in him this weekend. And then to wrap us up here, give me Loner Kavanagh. I think he is the much better striker in that matchup. Right now, that gets you to plus 136. Another plus money parlay for you guys. JP, what do we got juiced up for him this weekend?
The juicer, man. I mean, if it was a competition of how close you could get without it hitting, I think I'd win with the juicer every single weekend. The juicer. This weekend, last couple weekends, we were 8, 7s. We're going back to 6. Okay, we're dialing it back just a little bit, but that's okay. We're still juicing it up. All right, we're having our lines are either dogs, close money lines. Okay, we're throwing the favorites, the confident picks out. We're going straight degenerate. Okay, because it's fucking juiced, brother. First one, call it a value pick. Call it whatever you want. Cowboy Fernandez plus 330. Had to do it. Got to throw him in the juicer. You can money line him if you want. Throw him in the juicer. Okay. Those lines are way too wide. I'm searching for value. Is what it is. Next one, Nathan Fletcher. Okay. Close line right there. Him and old. You want to tussle? Okay. They fought once. I think he's winning the second one as well. Next one. The big boy. His O is not gonna go. Parkin. Throw him in there. We think he's beating Tybura. Tybura's old. He's slow. He ain't going to out-grapple him. That's for sure. Next one, Taco. Okay. You want some tapatio on your taco? You want some juice on your taco? Hey, this is what it is. If you like it, you like it. Throw Taco in there. Plus money for Taco. If you don't do it now, you're probably not going to get him as a dog. Just saying. It's probably going to move to a favorite soon, but is what it is. Next one, which I called it a stupid pick. Will it be? We'll have to see. Kevin Holland at dog money. Throw him in there. I believe this is Kevin's second appearance in the juicer. First time he did break our hearts. So he breaks our hearts this time. I'm never talking to him again. Kevin, you're dead to me. Okay? Throw him in there. And the final one, had to throw in my lock, Sean Brady. Okay? If we get this far, Sean Brady, lock him up. Juicer's hitting. Had to do it. I think he's breaking Leon. 6 legs. It's juiced plus 10,000 right now. Just over 10,000. 10,045. And those odds will go down because Padilla is probably going to be a favorite come Saturday night.
I love that. $1 pays you over $100. That is some serious juice, and I love that type of money. Hey, I will say this is a fun week because my basic, our locks, and your juicer are very different. Like we're all over the card, which I love. That makes it really fun, and you're not necessarily locked into just one outcome there, which is always exciting. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this week's episode, make sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment who you guys think is going to win in the main event or one of your favorite fighters on this card. We would love to hear it and hear from you. More importantly, with that being said, Thank you guys for tuning in every single week. JP, I will let you take us home.
Man, what is this? Like the 6th week in a row or something like that? We are spoiled rotten with UFC events. And hey, we've like we said earlier in the show, been a lot of shitting on cards, saying they're trash. I think other than maybe 1 or 2 cards here and there, I think every card's been pretty good. Is it the glove change? Because it went back.
I was just gonna say that.
Might be, but hey, I'm not complaining. We're not complaining. Yeah, as always, ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure. Bingo, bango, baby. Peace.